I'm Milenko Prvacki. I'm 71. It's like in street times when you announce. I'm an artist, I'm an educator, and my practice it stretches on 50 years already. I'm born in former Yugoslavia. I was studying in Romania, and I came in Singapore 31 years ago, just for 2 months, and I end up in 31 years been here. I'm practicing non-stop. I like to say that I'm an old-fashioned artist because for me art is necessity. I'm doing every day something. In between other things, I'm doing drawings. And for me, drawings are not preparation for paintings, installation, or sculpture. It's just, I treat it like independent. And I never do paintings using drawing like background. What connect all my practice, including mostly paintings, drawings, prints, installations, sculptures, even public work, it's structure. I mentioned that I'm born in former Yugoslavia. I studied in Romania. I didn't speak Romanian, and my second language was German. That's how I came in Singapore with a German company. I didn't speak English. So my best friend was always a dictionary. And I was always thinking how to create work which has a structure of dictionary. And everything, all my practice is based on this, to put things together without obvious narrative, but all elements, shapes, could stand together like in dictionary, which is in alphabetic. When you have 71 years and 50 years of practice, then there are many elements part of inspiration. I always tell my students, if you wait for inspiration to drop from the sky, it's never going to happen. It's almost about a very complex experience, which is coming from my travels, my readings, watching other artists, looking at different kind of work, working with students. And I have to say that I learn a lot from my students because of their questions. And they keep me alert all the time because you can't say, I don't know. So that the kind of inspiration is coming from all around. But even my work, it's about abstraction. I have to say that I know always what I'm doing and I know what is behind. I treat drawing like independent art forms, and I'm not using drawing just as a preparation or sketch for my major work. So in this area of work, which I spend some time thinking, including small drawings, about one idea which is related to abstraction. When I'm talking about mixing materials, mixing mediums, and mixing shapes and different forms in one work, it is about, I always have a humor in my titles, it's an abstraction for beginners, for audience to be able to appreciate all form of abstraction. That's why I mix up also not only materials and medias, but also different abstraction forms, from geometrical to expressionist to associatives, all kind of elements that are part of abstraction and abstract art, but they have always been historically isolated, independent. So what I'm doing kind of project, and I want in one work to teach audience what abstraction is about. And at the same time, I'm using very different working methods. So I'm using pencil, I'm using ink, I'm using graphite, I'm using acrylic, watercolor, everything, even different materials, sometimes sands or bitumen, whatever I found that it's matching. And it's all about how to put things together, what I mentioned about dictionary. It's about language, it's about voice. Each artist it's supposed to create their own voice and you can recognize, and they coexist in one place without fight. When I mentioned that I have my personal stories always behind what maybe audience can appreciate or read, I would like to talk a bit more about this drawing especially, because I find I have minimalize things and elements. We always tend to say too much, to talk too much, and if it's nobody around to interrupt you, you talk over too many things that are not necessary, and nobody can switch off you. So most of the time in my studio, when I leave evening time, I feel like I'm a genius. And then when I come next day, I said, oh my God, what I did. So that what I find in this drawing, I didn't overplace anything. It's a kind of sublime what I want to do. And in the same time, this angel, which is in horizontal position, it associates me on my work, which I did during my master program almost 40, 50 years ago, when I was figurative artist and I was talking about communism and how all heroes are vertical. And I did series of work called Heroes, but they've all been dead, because in order to become a hero, you have to die first. And I always paint them in a horizontal way. So that's what I was placing angel in horizontal way. I was using all these elements that I find I didn't overload. I didn't do too much. It's very sharp, very simple. All elements of drawings that I talked before and working methods are present. And I think that sometimes simplicity talk more than over crowded narrative. So that's one of reason what. And another elements in my work, it's always about memories. If you look at this infinity detail, that was the first drawing when I was 3 years old. When my mom drew to me, I was shocked. How is possible that there is no beginning and there is no end of this drawing? And infinity is always amazing me in the cosmos and all these things that I can't understand, but I enjoy. And I think art sometimes should not be very obvious and pragmatic. So metaphysical things that you don't know could be present. The questions that you have about art, this world or society, also could be transformed in art without to give specific answers. Yeah, that's something what connect my work and make my work important for me. It's a few details that are part of structure of each work. Each artist has a different system, different methods, different approach. And I'm very aware of one thing, and this is a spy. Like our body, it's kept, but very slim, but very important part of the body, it's spy, that keeps everything together. So I always have this kind of elements that keep a rest of things together. Second one is that I have to know at least 60% of what I want to achieve. And this is important, again, to keep these things under control. But 40% it's unknown, and I really enjoy discovering what I should edit, and I didn't plan, and I couldn't anticipate before I started doing drawings. So that's the kind of beauty that by part you are very pragmatic, you have to know what you're doing, but I always leave 40% for surprise, and this is one of the most wonderful things in art process. Same system structure I applied in these drawings, and when I work, I usually work 2 years, 3 years about similar things, and I not only exploring but trying to extend, and then in the end I will discover what I will do next 4 years. So these drawings help me to not to do the same paintings, but to resolve some problems that I was having, and to open the door and window for my new practice and my new extension and my new artwork. You need to know to draw, you need to know to paint, you need to know how to drink, you know how to... I'm kidding. I always tell my students that they have to be very disciplined in order to become great and successful artists. Because if you are artist and you are not successful, you will become alcoholic, or you will commit suicide, because it's not easy to carry it. No, don't show this to students. There's no right advice for any of you students how to do things. I think it's very individual, and what we have to do, and all our job like educators and artists, it's to make you to understand yourself. And because we are all different, we look different, we speak different, we have different accent, we have different tones, we speak sometimes different languages, but that's what makes us different. And in normal society, we are tending to be in group, to have a same kind of style, same order, discipline. But in art, it's about individuality. It is about what I am and how I am separate and different than other artists. And that's about language. It's about the way that one artist differs from another artist. And that's what we work all our life. There is no prescription how to do it, but first of all, we have to discover ourselves.